awesome. Yeah, let's do it. Why did Pirate Stretchyman make you cry?
So
I know
was once
Dick.
reading-
I know Dick about One Piece.
I was once reading an interview with the author of One Piece, and someone asked the question, why did you give Luffy such a dumb power? For those who don't know, Luffy's ability is that he's stretchy. He's a stretchy man.
Okay, listen, Plastic Man is actually one of the most powerful people in DC Comics.
Yes,
It's stretchy is nuts.
true, but even more than Plastic Man and Mr. Fantastic and all of that, Luffy is drawn to be stupid. And Oda's response to this was, because I wanted to make sure no matter how dark the stuff I got, the stuff I wrote got, I could always look at Luffy's dumb power and like chuckle.
That's all right.
And I respect that
jeez.
as a writer of sad things.
Be right back.
I respect that. Oh, I'll just keep talking. So, you know, we've my roommates and I have been on the journey a while now. It's in the beginning, like it felt like every arc was introducing a new crew member and like everyone going on, and there were just a few like fun pirate adventures. But now we've gotten to the point where we know all the characters very well. We've come to kind of love all of the characters, and now it's really stressing what they're about. It's really challenging them as we've known them so far, and like bringing them to a breaking point as characters. And I want to point out that it does this without ever really using death as a as the threat, which I find particularly impressive. Like the stakes are high, but it's rarely will someone die. You very rarely think someone's in actual physical danger of death. It's always something more emotional.
It's freaking out.
Cat's freaking out?
No, the camera's freaking out.
Oh.
It's really particular about how I plug it in.
So, what got me, it's been part of this really long saga that's already been very emotionally, taxing. One of their crew members sort of left mysteriously and started working with the bad guys. And it's also very clear that these bad guys are still very much intending to just kill her when they're done with her, and she's still going along with them. And
who's the guy in Naruto that likes the snake guy and thinks it's the best?
Sasuke.
That's the one.
But this is very different.
Okay.
She's working with them because if she doesn't, they're also going to just kill all of the crew. And she knows that being with the crew is a bigger threat. Like, she is putting the crew in bigger danger by working with them. And is kind of tired of being in situations like that, because she's been hunted by these people her whole life, and she's just kind of ready to be done with it.
Mm-hmm.
I am actually very much reminded of a particular scene in OTL with Cass, where Cass, like Cersei's being like, what if you go down here? What if you die? And Cass just looks at Cersei and goes, win-win. It's a less funny bit where it's very clear she is really having suicidal thoughts, and I didn't really expect that.
All right.
The moment that got me to cry, though, was when the crew, after like being shoved away and having to fight through a whole bunch, finally catches back up to her and them, and Luffy finally convinces her to shout, "I want to live." And oh yeah, that
Zilla's being super cute, but her camera is being super fritzed out.
Oh no.
It's her power is overwhelming, clearly. All right, I'm sorry, folks. I can't, like, that's nuts. She was stuck outside my door. Thank you, Code again.
I didn't expect it to get that heavy, and I didn't expect the resolution to come so organically. So that was really cool.
That is actually my favorite part of the story. Actually, is the bit about how the author said, like, no, I needed the core of it to be silly so that I could go dark, like, easily.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, like I said, I really respect that as a writer of the sads.
So in Berserk, which I mentioned recently, having dipped my toe in, like chapter 1 has a goofball character, and I'm led to understand that like the inclusion of the goofball character gets questioned in universe, and pretty much answered in universe the same way, like with the same conclusion.
Interesting.
We've heard that song enough.
I was actually having a conversation, I think it was with Kemi, about humor in OTL. Because there are a couple of moments that I consider like comic relief in OTL, but I always play it for uncomfortable laughs. One of the ones that really comes to mind is like there's sort of a fight between Peter and Cass, and
I remember that. Yes.
Yeah, Peter like knocks out Cass or whatever, and it's after like Peter himself is like completely bloody and his face has been blown off and his like this whole like mind control plot's just been unveiled, and like I think it's this whole thing, and Peter just looks at Cersei, who is the cause of all of this, and just goes, "I saved you," as if Cass was the threat, as if Cersei wasn't the threat, as if Peter knew anything about what he was talking about. And
Yeah.
I kind of like that's the humor I use in Of This Light, and I kind of want to like. That's not to say I want to put gags in Of This Light, but like I do. This has made me want to think more about how I use humor in OTL, because it is very dark, and like it's never gonna not be that. But with the next arc happening, like the next arc is very much supposed to be an arc of healing, and so trying to figure out how more humor that's not just like this is. I'm laughing because I'm uncomfortable.
I'm laughing because I'm hurting so much. I had a fever about a month ago, and just super chilled. Not the good kind of chill, like the bad kind of chill, because I'm freezing, and I hadn't gotten out of my room. And it lasted for about a day, and then I go to like I don't remember. I just like I got enough strength to get. It might have been COVID. Who the fuck knows? I couldn't get my hands on a test. But it only lasted a day, so it's fine. I go to the kitchen because I'm finally like have enough energy and appetite to actually eat a fucking thing. And for some reason, I like open the freezer and realize that the ice cubes need to be like popped out of the ice cube tray and put into the ice cube bin, right? And I pop out 3 of them, and they're so cold that I get the perma shivers. But I don't want to stop until I'm done doing a thing, because it feels so good to just accomplish a thing. So I keep going and pushing them out, and I'm shivering harder and harder because I'm so fucking cold. And I just reached that point where it's like, this is I've reached maximum miserable, and I just start laughing. I just start laughing at how stupid it all is, and just how this is the worst I could possibly let myself feel in this particular situation. This is hilarious. That's how I feel the humor in LTL is so far.
Yeah, that's kind of what I go for. But yeah, and I know this isn't as dark as it gets. I know it gets darker. And I'm kind of... I'm excited for the ride. When I say I cry at something, that's a good thing. It's actually... I would say it takes a lot for me to cry in fiction, so... I mean, like, I think it might not have been on this stream, but... do you remember me telling you about my earliest coping mechanism?
I feel like you have told me this and I have forgotten.
So when I used to get sad to a dangerous amount, what I would do is I would consume as much sad media as possible to the point where that emotion would just short circuit and I'd stop feeling it for a while.
this like really speaks to the Kyle we all know and love, the sadness elemental, the crying skeleton, and it's certainly like the character you have built for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Now, don't get me wrong. I like now that I am older, like I understand that's not exactly the healthiest coping mechanism, but I stand by that it was a very skillful coping mechanism for that time in my life. Um,
See also my conversation about shit donuts that we had on Tuesday.
um, and so yeah, that's a big reason why I don't know, I am the way I am, I guess.